What's up, everyone? Welcome to Plays of the Day. This is the second stream I'm hosting of this, and yeah, let's get right into it because we've had a pretty interesting session. We've had a pretty volatile day, but it's still range bound. And using VWAP is basically has been the number one key for helping me find the trend for the day. And as you can see, we've been holding this overnight VWAP all right. It's not a great clean hold, but we are holding it. So this was basically the trade long if you were still just using the overnight VWAP. But so the plan for today is to go over the trades that I took and then the trades that we took on ASFX TV, and then just make a game plan for the rest of the afternoon because we finally got our first breakout. And I say this is the first breakout because we did break the initial balance low here as we broke opening range low, but we didn't have any continued momentum in that direction. So I can't really say that was a breakout. And especially when you look at it on the 15-minute chart right here, where we bounced off opening range low, where we know that is a level buyers want to step in at, is also coincides with the daily VWAP. And I actually ended up taking a trade going against this analysis. I took a trade short. I took a trade short from right here that was looking for the continuation of the initial balance break because so going to Edgeful is a data company, and they provide us data. So the initial balance is the first 1 hour of the trading session, and you get indicators when you sign up with them. So this is the initial balance, and what Edgeful tells us is that we want to single break the initial balance 80% of the time. So my trade was basically just in alignment with that stat because you can see we set the initial balance high and then we break initial balance low. So then I'm looking to take a trade in continuation of that trend. However, we can see that did not sustain today. And everything is always it's all hypothetical, but Donald Trump, he's kind of been controlling this volatility for better or for worse, and he's saying it's a great time to buy right now because overall we are currently in a trade war. And my hypothetical analysis on this trade war is that we don't really want to impart tariffs for the long term, at least on some of our major trade contributors, but we do want to be able to get some value from the threat of tariffs. And basically what that means, we talked about this yesterday, is he just wants to make a deal. He wants to make a deal with countries so that we can either get imports to be lower, or he wants to make some kind of deal. I'm not a macro specialist, so I don't know exactly what's going on, but I think that once he starts to strike deals, we could see the buyers really step back into control. And if we look at it on the daily chart, we are at a pretty key level. Let's go to the continuous contract. And something we talked about on stream is that there is a little bit of a range here. It's a pretty large range, but if anyone was trading the S&P going into 24, they'll remember that this like 4,800 level right here was an extremely strong level that we held under for like, let's see, it was 23, basically about 8 months. And this level struggled to be broken. But then once we broke out, now we've had, a continuous bull run. So if we look at it from like a range perspective, we're getting close to the last where this resistance could now turn into support. And I'm not saying that we're going to get down to 4,600. That would be a continued slide, where buyers would not be stepping in if we got to this level. However, you can definitely see that there's definitely some stuff going on in here. This is definitely a key level, from a macro picture, especially when you think about it from numbers. We want to be like, I like trading with round numbers. So 5,000 is exactly where we're holding. We are right now holding that 5,000 number to a T. So this becomes now trading from the bottom of the range back to the top of the range. And something Tom Dante talks about is like the as much as the macro, news matters, what matters more is what are the candles actually showing me. And they're telling me what the news is doing before, because as we all know, there's high frequency trading. So we like whatever happened here. I don't know what this candle was that just came in, but I don't find anything on financial juice or any news sector. So being able to use the candlesticks as your first gauge and then knowing what the news is after is kind of a good way to trade. So definitely this could be an area where buyers are stepping in, and today buyers are 100% saying they are still here. We have seen days like yesterday in the afternoon. Yesterday in the afternoon is a great example. I called out yesterday on stream that we could hit 50-15, and we went to 50-15 and continued lower. So it's let's get back on track here. So yeah, so buyers are in control today, and we've seen plenty of days where buyers do not have any strength at all. There was some good short plays to be had, but the reason why I say buyers are in control today is one, you just look at the stocks, but two, you look at the VIX. The VIX never went positive today, so that's a really strong indication to me that we can see continued or at least sustained momentum to the upside without letting the sellers get fully in control. So that's a light overview of what's going on today. And let's get into the trades. Specifically, what was the trade of the day, and then how can we make a game plan going into the afternoon. So we'll go back here. Trade of the day is 100% this bounce off the New York VWAP, because if I'm going to pull up NQ on this side so that we can see, because I really do like using NQ in tandem with ES. I find it's a pretty good indicator, because when we have both the assets moving together, we get continued moves. Like it's like a trend, like if they're both trending, that is a stronger probability that the move is going to continue in that trend, instead of ES going up and NQ going down. Now we've got a very choppy market. We don't fully know what's going on. So if we look here, this is the same. This was opening range high, 40, 34, 44. Okay, so this is opening range high. And this would be opening range low down here. So breakout, pull back, and then we get this big, whatever this news, it's like not a news candle. This is just the current volatility of the market. And we get our first shove up, and then we retest the New York VWAP. Now, I was just hopping on stream with Austin and Evan, and I missed this price. And something I'm trying to work on, and like let me know in the chat, how you guys handle this, because what happens when you miss your price, but that the entry is still valid. I knew I could probably hop in after this candle and still be fine, but I was like hoping, I was hoping for a small pullback back to the New York VWAP where I could hop back in before continued higher. But we will use Austin's trade, because Austin was in this trade. He had the stop under opening range low, so that's a 50-point stop right now. And then he got out on this candle, so he got a perfect 1R. And I mean, yeah, this is just VWAP at its finest, pull back, breakout, pull back to VWAP, and then you're just looking for that continuation. And then the perfect place to take profits is always at opening range high, especially after we get that initial breakout. So by far for me, this was the trade of the day, especially considering in the morning is like in the first 1 hour of the day is when we get the most trend continuation in just like this short span. We normally get about 2 legs in one direction on, at least this has been what my finding is. We get 2 legs in one direction at the open, and then we kind of, reevaluate and rebalance before, finding our next move. So that was trade of the day. And then let's get into my trade. So I am currently down $700 on the day. I'm trading the top one instant funded accounts. I've got two. They're about 1.5K in drawdown, which is, totally fine. I'm just starting to trade these this week. I am running a giveaway till the 11th. So on Friday, if anyone who purchases with the code Thomas gets entered into a giveaway for up to 550K accounts. So, go take advantage of, that discount. Basically, it's 50% off right now. And I will put my link in the chat just for anyone who is interested in purchasing. But yeah, so I'm down about $700 today, and that's all right. What are you gonna do? This is the markets, and honestly, I probably would have been down 1,500, or I would have been down my whole max daily loss if I didn't cut my last trade early. So I'm gonna go over, what was the thought process in cutting the trades, and why did I cut them? So first trade I took was right here. I took this trade with a stop at the last, not the current structure, but the last structure. And then I was just shooting for high of day. I didn't know what I was going to get out of it. But the whole thesis on this trade was just looking for trend. I'm buying off the New York VWAP. The New York VWAP has been the price that has paid so far. And especially when Austin had two trades today, they were both from the same exact price level. So we're just kind of looking at what price has paid and then trying to redo that basically. So this was my entry, playing the bounce, and I ended up actually cutting it right here because inside I felt like the shorts were really what was going to play out today. And this is where I have to challenge myself. Was I trading what I thought? Was I trading what I think? Was I trading what I see? I was here. I was trading this long. I was trading what I see. And then when I cut the trade and started to trade short, that's me trading what I think. There, we never know where the next higher low is going to be in trend. And all we can do as traders is put the stop where the idea is temporarily invalidated and know that we can always get back into the trade if we do get stopped out. I try and keep a two try on the same direction, basic bias. So I ended up cutting the trade here, took a really small $100 loss, and then I got short right here. So I got short with a stop above these candle wicks. And in reality, this stop definitely needed to be at high of day. Like there's no way around it. That stop needed to be at high of day for the true invalidation of the thesis to be there. But I saw this level of these wicks and this candle body as a micro level that's definitely worth giving it a shot. And you can see I did end up like being safe. I was safe with the stop level, and so I thought, okay, now this idea is proving to me that if it wants to work, it's going to hold this level. And I mean, yeah, I just took a loss on this. Like there's no way around it. Took a loss, too tight of a stop in reality. The whole thesis, because I'm playing the double break trade, and for anyone who doesn't know, let's actually see what's going on. Holy, what's pumping? Oh my God. Trump raising China tariff to 125%. Oh my goodness. So, wow, let's take a break on that real quick because this is, geez, holy crap. Oh my God. Okay. This is the type of volatility that we need to be expecting. VIX is at 20% right now. I knew this high day break might yield something, but man, this is like what was it, Friday of last week? Yeah, Friday, or no, Monday. Yeah, this is like Monday. This is what I'm talking about with the trade war. It's so we're just waiting. We want to be bullish. The markets want to go higher, and it's like the president is teeing with us and doesn't want us to know exactly what's going on. And then as soon as he says one thing or does something that's bullish, it is just it's full steam ahead. I don't know whether this is retail or and investors just loading up now that there's more tariffs, but I mean, let's see, from a percentage basis, from bottom to top, that's 5%. That is 1,000 points. No, 267 points. I don't know what that number is, but Man, that is a huge move. Wow. Previous day POC, 80% setup has been hit. So anyone who doesn't know about previous day POC, let's just take a quick sec to explain this, because this is something Zach Zarb trades, talked about a lot and trades a lot, which is the 80% setup. The previous day POC gets engaged with roughly 80% of the time. And that's not a guarantee. But if you go on electronic trading hours, you use the SVP session volume profile and just the regular settings. You go to the 30-minute chart, and then you just turn on the indicator. It'll plot you this line. This line is showing you where was most of the volume the previous day. And damn, Savage hit 900 point, $1,800 on one micro. Did you hit that trade? That's insane. Did anyone in the chat just was in a long and hit this trade? Because that's, I mean, man, that's insane. So this is the kind of stuff that you just can't, like, you can't expect this. This is like luck, and it's our job as traders, if we are in this trade, to know, hey, we got a little lucky today, but that's not something to be mad about. So what the setup is the previous day POC is engaged with 80% of the time during the New York session. So we opened up below the previous day POC. I'm going to turn this off just so it's a little cleaner. And we know this was the previous day POC. So we're under previous day VWAP, and that's above it. 80% of the time, we're going to touch that. And this was the news we needed to get there. Yeah, I just got to laugh. This move is stupid. I know. But we will. Okay, so now that was a great move. Let's talk about how we can play this going forward, because this is the range that I see us trading in right now. I'm going to delete this note. This is the range I see us trading in. We gap down on Sunday night. We find a bottom on Sunday at 48.40. Then this is also the equal highs of the week. And if we go to regular trading hours, now it looks much cleaner. Now you can see what I'm marking up here. This is the equal highs. This is clearly, there's some resistance here at 5,300. We're going to need to get above 5,300 for the bulls to be back in control. And if we're looking at it from a range, that was today is in many ways coming off the bottom of the range, more middle of the range. So that's why shorts and longs were in play basically until we got that breakout that I was showing at the beginning of stream. Nvidia's up 11%. Holy goodness. Yeah, everything's just ripping right now. Nvidia's up, Nasdaq's up, the VIX is down 24. What a time to be trading. Am I right? All right, let's get back to it. So we'll go to MES. Wow. Okay. What did I say? We needed to see 5,300 taken. Now the setup that I see in play, we're breaking into this new range. So this was support used as resistance on 4.2. So it was support. We were bouncing multiple times, and then we gap down under it and just continue to slide. So now I see it as we're breaking into this new range of 5,300 to 5,600. And definitely what I would be looking for is, like, I'm not going to take a trade on this news, but in 30 minutes, 40 minutes, something might be setting up. Because if this can hold around this zone and then continue higher, that looks great to me. Something I've been thinking about a lot, and please chime in on the chat if you have any thoughts on this, because we always see the breakout, but then people might be expecting this pullback and then be trying to get this move. So my question is, does size of pullback or depth of pullback, specifically in points, mean more or less than time spent in a pullback or time spent in a consolidation? Because, like, what I'm trying to say is, if we consolidate and hold this zone, there are some people that might say, I was looking for a deeper pullback to fill this space before the longs are ready. But what I'm saying is, I think the time spent at this level can make it a strong pullback, just the same as a pullback deeper in points. So, wow, this thing is absolutely ripping. Absolutely ripping. Tesla's up, or Nvidia's up almost 14%. NASDAQ up almost 9%. YM up 7. Let's take a look on financial juice. So we got Trump 90-day pause applies to reciprocal 10% tariffs effective immediately. So we are doing no reciprocal tariffs for 90 days. And we authorized a 90-day pause on non-retaliating countries. So this is big. This is big bullish news for the US. We are pausing these tariffs yet again, which goes back to what I said at the beginning of this stream. It's not necessarily that it's not, this is all hypothetical. This is just my opinion, but maybe the government is not interested in imposing harsh tariffs. Rather, they're focused on making a deal. Trump's book is called The Art of the Deal. We that means he's looking for a deal. So let's see what happens here. This was, so now we had, when we first measured it, it was like a 5% move. Now it's a 7.24% move. This shows you how important this tariff news is, and how we were waiting. We were waiting, consolidating all day just for something to happen. And then that was the one piece of news we needed. VIX is down 30%. I'd highly advise against any shorts right now. That's probably you could just get smoked out on there. And this is, now we're getting, let's see how big this candle was, because that's, yeah, that's a one, that's a 70-point candle, 1.35%. Man. Let's see. Let's see anything's going on Twitter. Yep, this is a great time to buy. He posted this morning. What do you know? It's like he knew this was going to happen. He maybe he did. Wow. End of my lives. Nothing he did not do during his first term. Release news event when liquidity is at its lowest, but you knew something like this was coming sooner or later, right? Trump authorized. See, so Linda Raschke, she's an old timer, like pit trader. I love looking at her stuff. She trades the DAX and the US markets, but let's dig into what she's saying here. Nothing that he did not do his first term. Release news event when liquidity is at its lowest. What I think maybe what she's saying is that there was low liquidity today, even though we were up and down multiple percent integers. We weren't trending, which means maybe the liquidity is low, or we had lower volume today than usual. Let's definitely just take a quick look at volume today in comparison to some of the other days. We'll go to the 1 hour chart so that we don't get this one candle in the overall volume. Yeah, I mean, it is slightly lower volume, about the same, low volume. I don't know. Maybe not, nothing crazy, nothing worth noting here, but definitely this is going to be my line in the sand. If we're holding above 5,300, I'm going to be long bias, and if we're holding under 5,300, I'm going to be short bias, looking for trades back to that 5,000 level. Soaring on a 90-day tariff pause. What was it? It was here that we had fake news tariff pause. And then as soon as we found out it was fake news, we fall back off. But then now, basically trading at that same price level, this 5,000 price level, now we get the final confirmation that there's no tariffs, and then we continue higher. And now this move will probably sustain. So this is a good point. This move did not sustain, and we stayed stuck in the range because it was fake news. This news is real. This is real, a real pause for 90 days. So I would not be surprised if we get back up to this 5,500 even tomorrow. We can get here today. Like, there's no telling what happens. This could continue higher today. VIX is minus 30% now. This could continue higher, definitely to 5,500. Let's go down to the 1 minute and just look at what some trade opportunities are here, because we do have a high of day VWAP break. This is you if you're getting in right now, you're getting at 53.39, which is pretty close to the high of day VWAP price. The stop loss, let's see, we get in right now. Stop loss would be under the equal highs. So stop loss goes at 52.75 under this last structure. And then I don't even know if you should have a take profit in. If you're on prop, put it at the high, your max win with the consistency rule. But this could keep going. We're just trading momentum now at this point. I mean, how many times as day traders are we putting tool out and looking for 100-point move? This is this is crazy, guys. Oh my goodness. Is anyone trading this right now? Hit me in the chat if you're trading this. Send a markup or something. Let's see if anyone in the BSC is hitting this. Yeah, everyone's damn. Zarb's hitting it. Unless you lose, no consistency rule. Yeah, it looks like some people were in it, but some people weren't. Wow. Well, this is the trade that we're gonna watch. I'm just gonna run over. I'm just gonna run over this last trade I had today, and we'll probably wrap it up there. So if you guys are interested in joining ASFX TV, you can use the code TK, and that'll get you 50% off your first month. And just come try it out. Come trade with us live. We stream every single morning, and we've got on a variety of guests. We got a lot of different strong retail traders that come on and give us their take of the market. And it's an awesome environment because everybody sees the market a little differently. So like just on stream today, Austin's the long bias guy, and then I'm a little short bias. Evan's a little short bias. We don't know what to be doing. We're sometimes sitting out on the sidelines, sometimes in the trade, but yeah, we just take all the trades live, and everything is done live. So this was my second trade of the day, or third trade of the day, actually. I had the long, then the short, and then got stopped out on the short idea. Initial balance low gets taken out. I'm trading short from the New York VWAP essentially to the initial balance low again. And but I ended up closing this trade for a wash. So I got out right here. This was the candle I got out on. And I was sitting in this trade for way too long to begin with. It did look good that we had lower highs and technically making lower lows. Or no, excuse me, not lower lows, but just making new lows under this low of day VWAP. But there's just something didn't feel right about this trade. VIX was not in the green, so that's like an immediate teller that shorts are not necessarily in play. And I ended up cutting it here. I went in profit, took some drawdown, went back in profit, and closed it for a small win on the day, just to keep me at a healthy amount. Because if I did take the loss, which I would have, because you saw my stop loss level, I would have been at max daily loss for the day. So now I've still got ammo, and I can continue to trade. Boom, look at this trade. It's already ripping. This is like, I mean, you can't, this is crazy. This is crazy. We got awesome volatility right now. And I'm gonna leave it here. Stay safe, stay tight in these markets, play defensively, and we are going to get back to some neutral places, because I'm trading a 150K account right now, and I'm risking like 2 to 3 micros on a trade. And that's with a risk of like $500 a trade. So if you're trading a 50K account, it's going to be very difficult to have the proper risk management on a 50K, because of the amount, just the sheer amount of volatility we have right now. So I'll end it here. Stay safe, and always hit me up in the chat if you guys need anything.